Good evening. This is the reorg meeting for the Environmental Advisory Council on January 8th at 5:30 p.m. If it's all right with those who are on the board or on the council, I'm going to, if it's okay with you, I will be the temporary chair and secretary until we get to electing the chair and secretary. So doing that, Janet Kravanis. Is it Chris Layton? Yep. And then Catherine Yeski. Okay, I thought I'd been saying that right. Somebody told me I was saying it wrong, so I'm glad I said it right. Yeski. Okay, I'm here and I'm the township manager and currently the staff liaison to this committee. If we would now, we'll have a moment of silence and then we'll stand for the pledge. Stand. You have your agenda in front of you. Can I get a motion to approve your agenda? Can I get a second? Okay. All in favor, please say aye. Motion passes 3-0. Can I get a nomination for council chair?
Can you guys turn your microphones on?
Yeah, you're.
I nominate Catherine Yeski to be our chair.
Do I get a second?
I second that.
Are there any other nominations for chair? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Catherine, are you comfortable taking over the meeting and going from there? Or would you like me to do all the officers and then I'll let you take over?
Why don't you complete the?
Okay. Do we have a nomination for vice chair?
I nominate Janet.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Any other nominations for vice chair? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. All right. Do we have any nominations for secretary?
I nominate Chris.
Any any seconds?
I'll second that nomination.
Any other nominations? All in favor, say aye.
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 Passes 3-0. All right. I will turn it over to you now, Catherine. And basically, do you go by Catherine, Kathy?
Just Kate,
Kate, okay. Not either one of them, so I will.
but I'll answer to just about anything.
Gotcha.
Polite.
Me too. That's kind of how I am. If we're pretty informal once we get past the point, so just feel free to kind of take each piece. And if you don't know what to do, just look at me and I'll help guide you through it for this evening. So,
Well, that's great because next time on the agenda, public comment for agenda items only.
yes,
Are we inviting public comment?
yeah, we would always.
We look out and see something.
We always, so just so we're like,
Yeah.
we always invite for public
Mhm.
comment, and if there's none, we can just make note for the record that there was none.
Do we allow public comments from people who are maybe dialed in or, oh, I guess it's YouTube, so it's just
No,
watch
we
them.
don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless one of us is not
Mhm.
present and then
Yeah,
we allow.
yeah, but that's not really public comment.
Yes,
That's,
you're right.
that would be a board comment.
All right, well, seeing as we don't have any public to comment at this time, I think we can check this item off the list.
Yes.
So next item up, minutes. I would set forward a motion to approve the minutes from the December 18th meeting. Do we need to read through those?
I would suggest, have you not read through them, that you might,
I have read through them.
You have?
Mhm.
Yeah, as long as you've read through them and with Janet having been at that meeting, if she
Yes.
says they fairly represent, then all of you can vote.
Yes, I've read through them, and I approve of how they were written. I didn't see that there was anything left out. So that we could, vote on that.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, let's go ahead and vote on it. I guess
Alright.
everyone who agrees, say yay.
Yay.
Yay. All
I
right.
just need a motion. You need a motion and a second, okay?
Motion.
Right,
And then
I move we accept the minutes as written.
Okay.
And a second,
I second that.
okay, then we.
All right,
say
we will
all
consider the
approved?
minutes
We
all approved. Mhm.
Right, good.
So next on the agenda, we have a report from Birdtown.
All right, before we start that,
Mhm.
I really would like to see if we could kind of introduce ourselves to each other and to and whoever might be joining us. I'll be happy to start.
That would be lovely.
I have been on the Environmental Advisory Council for a while. But I'll start back with that I taught science in Philadelphia for 30 years. And I've always had a passion for the environment. Following my career, I became a volunteer teacher at the zoo for 20 years. And that includes serving as president of the Docent Council. Those are the volunteers. In addition, I served on the board of the Greater Philadelphia Docent Consortium, which was 32 different museums, zoos, arboretums, those kinds of things, when we would meet 3 times a year. And then I also served as president of that. In 2015, I began volunteering for the EAC, which led to my appointment 2 years later on the EAC. And also at that time becoming Audubon Birdtown representative for our township here. And then when Audubon Birdtown transitioned to Birdtown, Pennsylvania in 2022, I was elected and still serve as the secretary on the board of Birdtown. There are now 97 Birdtown communities across the state of Pennsylvania. So we have really grown. We here in Newtown Square, we were one of the first to pass the new resolution in 2022. So we have a lot of activities that we do, and that involves not only what we do here in Newtown Square, but because I am an officer, I'm also one of the 2 members who are the clutch leaders for Valley Forge Audubon Clutch, which means 25 different bird towns that are here in our area. So that's why I begged not to be the chair of this.
That's not a problem.
But thank you. I'm glad to, that you're here, and I'm happy to hear about how you came by.
Yes. So Kate Gasky, I'll introduce myself. I've been a resident in the township for about 5 years. Prior to that, I'd actually never owned land before, physical land or grass, and I became personally very interested and invested in our property. We have a very, very ecologically diverse property, and I spent the last 4 to 5 years doing a large-scale native plant restoration on the property. I also have been a volunteer at Jenkins Arboretum for most of the last 4 years, particularly during their native plant sale. And most recently, this past year, I completed, my Penn Extension Master Gardener certification, and are still a member with them as well and help with a lot of the different plant sales and other activities. I'm also a local mom. I have a 9-year-old and several dogs, and recently have stepped back from working full time. So I have a lot more time on my plate now to get involved in activities.
So I was out at Jenkins this fall and helping to put the dots on the windows there.
I need those for my
bird-friendly
house.
dots, as do I, and
Mhm.
that's something that we're working on as Birdtown that I'll talk about later.
That's
But
great.
Great.
Me, I am about 3 years living here in the township. I'm not as experienced as you guys are, so I'm excited to learn from you guys. I have my civil engineering degree from Penn State. I currently work for a local residential home builder and developer where we try to incorporate some environmentally friendly practices into kind of what we
Wonderful.
do. But overall, I just kind of wanted to get involved with the community and kind of dip my toe in the water a little bit. So I'm excited to sit here with you ladies.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So I think that means we're moving on.
Yeah, well, are continuing with the Birdtown report.
Right, okay.
And I know who's presenting it as well. So I'll pass it over
Right.
to you, Janet.
Yes, well, first I wanted to thank the township for letting us order 5 Birdtown, they're not Birdtown, but they're Audubon Important Bird Area signs. I don't know if you were aware that Audubon designated certain locations as being essential for birds as they are flying up from Central America and up into Canada and some into into the Arctic area. And going through here, it's a green area. So the area from Tyler Arboretum
Mhm.
all the way over to almost to Radnor Township is a designated important bird area. But we have not had the signs to show that for people that are walking through our parks. And so I think this is a great opportunity. I was able to do research through my Birdtown connection of how to get these signs. And we ordered 5, so we're going to figure out in the spring when the ground is soft enough to pound in the stake there and put these signs out there. And then hopefully we can also put a QR code of some kind along so that people can see what it is, because this is not only is it the parks that we have, but it's our whole green area here. You know, if you look at my house from a drone or whatever, you really, it's tree coverage. It's hard to know, you know, where a lot of the houses are. And so our birds that are flying into the area, mostly at night, and they rest here in our yards as well as in our parks. So it's very important that we support those native plants, which you obviously have been aware of. So that's terrific. So that's the first thing I wanted to report. And those signs are in, as Steve said, he has them up on his desk there. We will be submitting our annual Birdtown report by the end of January. And our committee has begun to put together a calendar of events. They include partnering with Garrett Williamson in March for a presentation on bluebirds and other cavity nesters, as well as creating the right backyard habitat. And in April, we'll also have a lesson on the use of the app Merlin, followed by a walk to practice what we've learned. Then we're partnering with CRC and Garrett Williamson for a spring bird walk on Migratory Bird Day. That's May 9th. And the theme is highlighting the importance of community science this year. We also are scheduling a summer night event with an iNaturalist to discover the moths and other insects that are out at night. I'm really looking forward to that. We haven't done that one before. And we partner with Meetup for a rain garden walk, and that'll be in the summer. And serving bird-friendly shade-grown coffee and working with the library. This will be a repeat from last year that was very successful. So we're well on the road to having a lot of activities for Birdtown here.
Wonderful. All very familiar names to me.
Great. Okay.
That's the completion of the report.
That's the completion of
right.
my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Janet. That was really informative. So we can move ahead to new business. So first item up, discussion and possible action to authorize spending of $295 of EAC budgeted funds to renew Township's EAC affiliated membership with We Can Serve Pennsylvania. Is there anyone who would be able to speak to that a bit further?
Yes, I can speak about We Can Serve PA.
Mhm.
They have been my paper here. They are the holder of the EACs in Pennsylvania. And they have a fall conference and a spring conference where they bring EAC members into an on-site location with speakers on activities that are happening within EACs. And so three of us went to the last We Could Serve PA meeting and came back with a lot of information, some of it on weed ordinances or naturalizing ordinances. But, so I think it's important that we support and our membership as EAC, We Could Serve PA members. And also, I'm going to share with you the address for how to access the handbook that they have put together for EACs. So I
Wonderful.
think it will really increase your knowledge of what we can do here within the township and our role within the township for sustainability. I don't know if you're aware that the state of Pennsylvania passed an important so of course I don't have that paper, I thought. That the state passed the resolution or about that we're all entitled to clean air and water. And so that's kind of our focus as we address the issues that we might find here in Newtown Square.
Wonderful.
Well, and
Do we need
I think we
a
should-
budget available for
Yes,
this?
I think
Yeah,
we
so
should.
there's, I don't have it right in front of me, but I want to say, I think there's somewhere around $6,000 to $8,000 in the EAC budget. I have to look back exactly.
So we're now into the 2026
Six budget.
budget. Okay, so most of that is still there.
Have to put it to good use this year.
Yes, right.
I have never had trouble spending money on nature or plants, so this will not be a problem. All right, then can I raise a motion to approve that? Can we get a vote for that?
I second that.
All right.
All right, then we'll say that motion passes.
All right. What
What's
was
the rate
it?
raising for that? Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. I think, are we in favor? If
Are we
you're
all in favor? Let's say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. We're gonna go ahead and approve that spending of $295 of the EA budgeted funds. And next item up, I think Janet, this is yours as well, discussion and possible action on 2026 plans and goals, which I'm very excited to hear about.
Okay, and so I have given to you the goals that were worked out towards the end of 2025. These were highlighted or put together by Dave Galouche. And so it's quite extensive, and we have not yet chosen which of these that we would want to concentrate on. So I'm going to ask that for our next meeting, we kind of determine who would like to focus on which of these, and we'll try to break them down to make it something that is manageable. And we do have an opportunity, I think, to I know that Sheila has offered to be someone that you could consult on these activities, and I'm not sure if Dave is around and available, but we can break them down, and we don't have to do all of these. This was these are ones that that we can keep as a focus as we move forward.
Is there a traditional number of goals that we try to target each year, or is it very open-ended?
It's pretty open-ended, and particularly what my recommendation would be as a group, and I think this has been done in the past, is like kind of once you think the areas that you would like to work on, would really suggest that one or two of you reach out to the board members and just say, this is what we're thinking. Does it line up with where you are? And we would want to do that. I believe, if my memory is correct, Paul San Francesco is the liaison to this committee for this year. And so Paul would, be a good contact just to say, hey, these are what we're looking at. Does this make sense? Okay.
Then why don't we go
And if any questions come with that, you're welcome to come through me, to do that.
Then I would suggest we talk through them one by one, and I think it would be great in particular to note where people are interested in being more involved, because obviously the
Right.
more passionate we are about certain goals.
So we'll put that on the agenda for February.
Oh, for February. Okay,
Right.
perfect.
Giving us time to,
Yeah, I think it would be good to review them.
Mhm.
yes,
And, if you could just get me a copy, I'll share that with Paul so that he knows what you're looking at. And then that way we get that process started.
and trees are one of our big focuses.
Mhm.
And Steve, I know that you had said you thought there were about 50 trees that have been planted.
So
I
far,
think
yeah.
So far, okay.
And I haven't seen I didn't know what we added last year, so we have to figure out what that number is from last year.
Okay,
I knew what it was. I think George will get me that number
okay.
and I'll know how many since we've started counting.
So I would like that information I would like it to be able to put it in the Birdtown
Sure.
Annual report. So
Yeah.
My
If you're not
progress.
getting it from me, feel free to reach out to George because he can probably get it to you a lot faster.
George Sherritt is.
George Sherritt is our Public Works Director.
All right, I'm gonna hit up someone after the meeting to get me all these contacts.
Yeah.
All right, well then I definitely propose that we add that to the agenda for February.
Very good.
Second that.
All right, agreed. This will be on the agenda for February. Right, so next item, discussion and possible action on preparing 2025 annual report for the Board of Supervisors. Assign responsibilities and deadlines. I'm new to this process as well.
And I have to say
Mhm.
that I do not have a copy or know if there is a copy yet
Mhm.
of the report. It was not something that was that I
Yeah.
was a part of the responsibility of, except to add things that have been done for Birdtown. My focus, so I
And
think
it
we
does-
really have to check back with Sheila.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have to talk back. I know that Cindy used to work on that pretty heavily. I think
Yes.
Sheila worked on it and potentially maybe Dave. I don't recall.
Right.
So we may just need some feedback from those three members that are
Okay,
So that
no
will
longer
will
on.
also.
But it may be that what we need to do is
We'll
just
pick it up in
follow up with
February as
them,
well,
that that would be the responsibility is following up with them. Janet, do you have their contact information
We do
still?
have their contact.
So maybe just, if you would just say, can I share your contact information with the new members of the EAC?
Okay.
And as long as they're okay with that, then you can do that. I can do that too, but it may come better from you and just.
And I love your contact
yes,
information.
I was thinking the same.
Sure.
Is there some sort of transition meeting between the outgoing and incoming membership?
This is a little unusual in
Yeah.
that usually there's just one new member
Okay,
and.
how many new members are there, by the way? All?
That's it. So, yeah, so it's, this is kind of a unique year, because we've kind of restructured everything. But normally it's just a new member
Mhm.
onto the committee, and then you had existing members on the committee, and it was relatively easy because the new member had a year to kind of get up to speed before another new member was added, but this year it was a little bit more change.
Okay, I'll take that as a follow-up, certainly
Yeah.
to get in
Sure.
touch and maybe we can
Yes,
schedule. an
I'll reach
offline
out to
download.
the former members
Perfect.
and ask if we can share your information. Right. And,
Maybe I'll have a chance to speak with them before we meet
okay.
next and get a
So
little.
because we're only a committee of 3 now,
Mm-hmm.
it's not easy for us to meet outside
Mm-hmm.
of this meeting because 2 is a quorum.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot meet and make decisions with a quorum. So that if you were to speak with Sheila independently of me, it's not that I wouldn't want to be part of it, but it then complicates those sunshine laws.
Yeah, it
correct?
does. That's correct. And we're gonna, on the 29th, I'm gonna spend a lot of time meeting with you and talking about sunshine law and what that looks like. It is a little bit more of a challenge for a committee of three.
Mhm.
That means you have to act individually. You can share information, you just can't make decisions.
Okay.
And so that's what becomes,
Right.
if you're just having an informational meeting, you're okay. You just can't get into discussion. And yeah,
Understood.
that's where it's hard because it's really easy to go down that road
Yeah,
and start having a discussion and you go, oh, I can't do that. And so, we'll help you through that process.
I send an email and I say, do not respond.
Yeah, there's a reason for
That's the
that.
reason.
Yeah, but you're allowed to share information with each other. You're allowed to send, like, if you're working on a project and say, this is what I found, here's what we'll be discussing at the next meeting. You can do that all day long. And if there's people that you're working with that are not here, you can have those conversations with them and
Mhm.
do a lot of things. This will be the place where you actually make the decisions.
No, understood. We'll discuss individually, gather information,
Yep.
summarize it during the meeting, then
Yep.
discuss and make
Right,
decisions.
yeah. For example, with the goals that we have for this coming year.
Mhm.
After looking through it, you might have something in particular that you're really interested in doing. So you could send an email out, but not, we won't respond, but
Mhm.
you know, this is what you're interested in.
Yep.
And then we'll make that decision when we meet again in February.
Great.
Okay?
All right. So next item on the agenda, discussion and possible action on February e-newsletter content.
Yes, so our e-newsletter, I don't know whether you log into those?
Is that separate from the township? Because I know that we have information from this committee in the township newsletter. Is it a
Yeah.
totally separate newsletter?
No, it's
It's just
that is that.
So when you go to residents, then you click
Yeah.
down to newsletters
Mhm.
and so they come out monthly. And we try to have something every month that's from the EAC. Sometimes it's EAC/Birdtown.
Mhm.
It often is seasonal related.
Mhm.
We've done things on Leave the Leaves. If you read through this one that came out in February, I mean, in December, it was about what to do with your light strings that are not working anymore. You know, you
Mhm.
cannot put them in the recycled, but there are places that will take them. I think Mom's takes them.
Mhm.
So it's something on that line. So something that's a good sustainable practice. I am doing right now through Birdtown, the invasive plant of the month. One of our president of Birdtown, Heidi Shiver, put together for her Doylestown EAC, a plant of the month that is an invasive plant. So I decided I'm going to post those to our Newtown residents so they can read them, you know, one at a time, not just one will come out a month. So there's one for every month. So that's something that I will post again. I posted it for January. And I just sent something tomorrow this afternoon about the Great Backyard Bird Count,
Okay,
which is February the 13th, I think it is, through the 15th, somewhere in there. And I didn't know when the February newsletter would come out. I want it to be before. I want our
That would be
email to
nice, yeah.
yes, right, instead of after.
so I think we actually wanted to go into January
Yeah,
one
She
then.
said she would have to check with you to see if.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the February one won't come out probably until the 13th.
Okay, so could we get it in the January one, do you think?
So
I sent it to.
I think the
you.
January one comes out on the 16th.
Does
So I think if we can get, if you've submitted it
I
and we
did.
can get it,
Okay, good.
just if you'll just
That would be
follow up with
perfect.
Mara to say, would you go ahead and put it in January's?
All right,
Then we would be okay.
okay,
I think I have that right.
okay, great. So as a master gardener, you probably have something that you.
Yes,
would
I
like
actually
to share?
do. I do quite a few of these for Master Gardeners in Delaware County, and I run that on their social media. I mean, this is the quiet time of the year, but I think
Yeah.
something this year, just off the top of my head, maybe picking a couple native trees or shrubs that
Uh-huh.
provide like particularly high winter support.
Right.
I was gonna say birds, because of course birds, but other animals, and just doing a spotlight in those, something that people might consider actually picking for their home properties.
Uh-huh,
to think about. So maybe not as much invasive, sort of think about adding this because it'll
Yes.
enrich the diversity of your winter experience.
Yes, and particularly
Mhm.
shrubs,
Yeah.
because many people don't realize how important the shrubs are.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize how large I mean, you can get a tree effect from a shrub
Yeah,
pretty
right,
easily.
yeah.
I'd have to put my thinking cap on. Is that something where the actual content, we need to all review and approve it, or do we
No.
just? We
No,
just individually-
Although Sheila did ask that we
Mhm.
send things to her first, be sure, and then she sent them on to Mara.
Yeah, it's, what we
works
would
better.
like is a central point of contact.
Okay.
So that when it goes to, and Janet keeps mentioning Mara. Mara's our staff support person who puts our agendas together for this
Mara
meeting.
Kennedy.
And you'll be introduced to her when we do that meeting on the 29th.
Okay.
Okay, and whatever it is that you feel is something passionate about,
You-
would be good to include.
Casey's very passionate about that, the native trees,
Yeah.
or shrubs. So
Uh-huh.
I'm full support of it.
Maybe we pick 2 or 3 or even 1. I'll have to think a little bit offline about which ones, unless anyone has some top of head, because I want to make sure they're native to this area. I mean,
Oh, right, yeah.
yeah, just make sure that's native, but I mean, I don't mind taking that as a follow-up action item, if
Yeah.
that sounds good to everyone.
And I'm going to make sure that you have the email address for Birdtown PA, because we have lots of resources on there.
I actually think we have met through Birdtown, Pennsylvania,
Oh,
but
okay.
during one of the Newtown Circle events.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
All right, is that good to everyone? We'll just pick a couple and we'll just do a little
Yes,
short.
I think
list on it. I
2
know
or
content's
3, if we
short.
always have, I wouldn't say more than that.
No, yeah. All
2 or 3,
Mhm.
right.
right, so we'll just stick native shrubs.
If you had 2 for February, you guys would be doing, or, even 2 for
Yes.
January.
We have
You-
2 for January,
Okay.
because the Great Backyard Bird Town.
Oh, okay.
Bird Count, and then also I did the invasive plant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so good. But if you had 2 for February, I think that would be a great start. Give
Right.
you a chance to start getting your feet wet.
Yeah,
And then start really kind of building up what you want to do.
I'll just take
Good.
it offline to think about it a bit, because I want to pick some stuff that also looks really nice in the winter, but make sure that it's native.
Yes.
So some of the stuff that pops into my head, I keep thinking, no, that's a cultivar, that's not truly native to Pennsylvania, but,
And something that has those berries that are really good with the
oh, like I
birds.
have a couple beautiful American hollies on my property, but those
Mhm.
are proper trees. We
Yeah.
can still include a tree.
One tree, one shrub.
Well, they're also nice because, I mean, the American holly grows so slow that it's gonna be a shrub for the first decade,
Oh,
essentially. They're slow growers. Okay, great.
I got a quick question though. Like processes, how that works. So we're allowed to share like
Mhm.
ideas and stuff via email, phone conversations. We just can't agree or approve.
I think
Yeah,
the
we're-
word
Make
there
a
is
decision.
decision.
Decision,
You,
okay.
you have to be careful getting into 2 things.
Mhm.
All your discussion should take place here in the room between the 3 of you
Mhm.
when you're going to make a decision. And your decision has to take place here.
Here, okay.
Okay, so you just have to be very careful because there's only 3 of you that, when you go and you can share information with one another, but you can't really get into a discussion about it. You have to do that here.
Mhm.
Okay,
So the decision is that I will take it as an action item to draft up some content around 2 to 3 native shrubs that
Mhm.
provide, I'd say, both visual interest and wildlife value that people should consider for home landscaping. And then I'll share that out with you guys afterwards, if we've made the decision about, potentially for feedback or just to share.
I think that's a little different. Like
Yeah.
if somebody gives you feedback on the article and says, oh, you might want to
Yeah.
look at this, I'm not worried about that. That you're not
Okay.
making a decision for the EAC. It's more of an issue of, like, if you're made a decision that, Kate, you're going to write this, then that's the decision that you've made here,
Exactly.
right? If somebody gives you feedback and says, oh, you've got this thought or something to make it a better article, you go do that all day long. I mean, that's not, I'm not worried about that. It's more of, it really gets more in when we start talking about, like, if
Concrete
you're
decisions.
doing an event or you're doing something like that, you have
Or
to
you're
be
spending
careful.
money.
Spending money
Mhm.
or any of those kind of things, you have to be more careful because that's got to be done here and the discussion around it needs to be done here. an article, you've already made the decision, you're writing the article, you've already made a decision what you're writing the article about. It's just putting that together. And that's not something that's impacting.
Thanks.
It doesn't affect the township in that way. You know,
Okay.
you've just done that. So I hope that answers your question.
It does.
We're going to spend more time on that on the 29th, because I know there'll be lots of other people that have similar type of questions and want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Perfect.
Generally start out with a picture.
Mhm.
Then, when it's on the website, it'll have a bit of the information and then you have to click on to, get the rest of the information. It's a teaser, the teaser to get you to read it, the first part, and then move on down.
Yeah, we have limited amount on the email that initially goes out
Mhm.
for each article, and then it takes you to the township's website where the full article is.
Imagine we want to be cognizant of the copyright around the photo.
Absolutely have to be, and our public relations person will help us do that, but we also want to make sure we're sensitive to that issue.
And where all of the information comes from.
If I have, let's say, for example, a personal subscription that I use for myself to get access to royalty-free images, can I provide that, or is that?
Let me review that with our attorney. I think we would have to have the license.
Got it.
Hmm.
Well, there are free sources for photos of everything, so not a
Sure.
problem.
All right.
Particularly if we're putting it out as a public image.
All right. All right, so I think we're done with that item. And who was the consul? I'll reach out to, someone will get me Sheila's contact information.
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
Sheila O'Sullivan Vini.
All right, so next item, discussion on 2026 Sustainability Conference in March.
So
Steve?
if I can kind of jump in,
Please.
so it's really our Green Business Coalition.
Yeah.
And so, and we put together, for the last, I think this would be the third year, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
And we've been doing it in March. I think it was supposed to be at Garrett Williamson, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, the question is, can we put it together still with this short a notice? I've engaged our sustainability person from the township to be involved in this and start looking and seeing what we need to do. And she is more than willing to work with you as a group, to kind of help do that. And I'm more than willing. Actually, I was trying to, get us some speakers, related to it. Usually we have the host talk about what they do for sustainability and do that. I also was talking to the PGA, since we have them in town right now, for them to talk about it. However, the person who was going to do that is not able to do that. So I'm not sure which way we're going to go there, but it might be an opportunity even to still bring Aronimic in. They actually have a tremendous amount that they do for sustainability on their property. And so I think they're one of our members, business coalition members. So there's some opportunities there, particularly with what's going on in town, like, with having that group and having that big of an event here in town. I think there's an opportunity to do that. So if we can, I don't want to jump ahead. I don't know what Sheila's actually done. And that was why I didn't want to go too far without waiting to hear what she's actually done, if she had speakers lined up or anything. So we just need to find that out. And if she doesn't, then we can jump on that pretty quickly. But there is a lot to do in a very short period of time. We have basically 2 months. Plus we need to get out and advertise it and get it out in front of folks. You guys meet again.
Oh, but my first question was, it sounds like we host this, correct?
Yes.
This committee or?
Yes.
Okay,
Well, it's kind of a joint
effort.
effort. But yes,
I think it
predominant.
originated here, the
Okay.
sustainability, but it was a way of addressing, if we weren't going to do a ban of plastic bags, it was a way of addressing sustainable practices. So we did develop a little cloth bag with the green sustainable emblem on it.
Mhm.
I'll have one of those for you.
Perfect.
Next time, I have some in my garage, and for you too. It originated here and then it has grown. Do you know, Steve, how many different
I
businesses
looked
have
on the
taken pledge?
website and I want to say it looks like it's over 30,
Okay,
maybe even a few more. But I had looked on the website recently and it just went, wow, I didn't realize we'd gotten up that high. So it's a good number. Um, and I was just looking to see if I had the date. Do you recall what the date was?
I think it's on my phone, but my phone is off. It's in the earlier part of March, I think, than the later one.
Yeah,
And how large is this conference generally?
I want to say last year we probably had about what, 50, 60?
Yes.
Good amount.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of different, usually the business association joins in
Mhm.
as part of that, like they help support and sponsor this. Uh, so I think the first one was probably about the same size, about that size. And, you know, I
And
thought it was,
at Boron.
that was at Boron,
Last year it was Dunwoody.
Dunwoody.
And I tabled there too for Birdtown, so.
Yeah.
one of the
And
tables.
we've had the DCTMA table there. We've had, I forget, somebody else puts a table up too, that usually the county, I think, CRC maybe. Yeah. So there's some opportunities to get some folks there so people kind of see what some different opportunities are.
Should we say you held it in the past?
We've held it at Boron. There's a business here in town. They're a homeopathic business and their
Campus
North
Boulevard.
American Health headquarters is here on Campus Boulevard. And they hosted the first one and kind of got us kicked off. And then last year, Dunwoody, the retirement community that's here, right, almost in the center of town. They're not quite the center of town, but you know, right there at Bryn Mawr Avenue. They hosted us last year, and we had a pretty good turnout, even, you know, with them, and some of their residents were there. And then we were aiming for, like I said, doing it this year with Garrett Williamson. And if you don't know where Garrett Williamson is, just down the street right here. It's a great piece of property.
It's wonderful.
and
We
they-
used after school farm camp
Yeah,
there.
there's lots.
Bunch of times for tours and
Yeah.
visits and events.
So they're a really good place to have it, and you would really want them to spend some time. And, you know, it's worth doing their tour and some of those kind of things. March might be a little early for some of it, but it would be a good opportunity.
Were they right on the bend up the street?
They're right on the bend,
On the bend,
Yep.
where the
exactly.
barn is.
Yep, yep.
And in the back, they have just a wonderful childcare program that they do all year long, but have a great summer camp program as well.
And
Interesting.
even
Okay.
just after school, like there's a winter all year, like they have a little farm camp where the kids come and they get to learn about what the older kids do with caretaking of the animals. But even my daughter, who was like 6 or 7, she got to meet the alpaca group and, you know, interesting alpacas, like the whole herd uses the bathroom in one spot. It's
Yeah.
fascinating. One of them leaned up against me every time we went. It was a wonderful experience.
Is it private property or is it open to the public?
It's not open to the public.
Yeah.
It's not open necessarily to the public, but they have events that they
Events,
open
okay.
to the public.
Yep.
It's, you know, it's
Works very closely with the township.
Yeah.
It really does.
absolutely.
They've collected all of our pumpkins, you
Mhm.
know, we can drop.
There's a
them there.
farmer who rents space from them who does organic farming.
Mhm.
And
Urban Roots Farm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then they have their program with kids that's just, I think, you know, probably second to none, you know, like it's just,
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
4-year wait list. It's
yeah, I mean,
very
Oh, wow.
popular. Yeah.
it's really
Okay.
quite phenomenal. So it's, Yeah, it's one of those things you have to be planning ahead if you really want to send your kids there.
That's interesting. I've never been to an indoor event there. I don't know if this would be indoors, but
Yeah,
I've never been to
spent
one
a lot of
either.
time in the barn, but I
yeah,
haven't, like gone inside a building with chairs.
And,
they have
I
a,
don't
they have a
know if
nice room.
Okay.
So this year they're having one of their kindergarten. It's totally outdoors. They
Mhm.
don't go indoors at all. It's
Oh.
all year long. They're outdoors.
Even in the winter.
Yes, even in the winter.
I bet they spend all the time in the barn. It gets chilly in the barn. It's not as warm as you think.
Mhm.
No,
Feeding the
their
baby
barn
lambs,
can be
though.
pretty cool.
Yeah. They warm it up when the baby lambs are born, but
Right.
They have a couple of historic pieces on the property as well. And so it's a nice.
the tour might be a nice draw. I mean, I went to one of their weekend walks like a month ago and there must have been 50 people there.
Yeah.
Just to walk
Meet
the
up, right.
property. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And maybe we could maybe reach out to Urban Roots if they want to be a speaker. I mean, they operate the farm there.
Mhm.
It is organic and sustainable, so. Right.
So there's a couple opportunities there.
I mean, that's a great location. I mean, even without a lot of time to plan, if you tell people they're going to get to walk around Garrett Williamson, you know, you're going to get good attendance.
Right.
And this focus is really for businesses
For
in
business,
town.
okay.
I mean, that's our focus. We're trying to honor and recognize our businesses who have joined the Green Business Coalition. And we give out certificates at the end of it for all the businesses that have participated. And it's a really good opportunity. Usually one or two of our Township Board of Supervisors comes. It's a, you know, we have a very good investment of community support as well as township support.
So then we'll leave it with you to inform us.
I think here's what I would say. So let's as we have a conversation with Sheila, let's find out what she's done. If she's done enough that we think we can run and really make it happen, we'll keep in contact over this month and kind of get things keep moving. And then if we feel like we need to reschedule, then we'll look at, you know, maybe we will do it in the fall and just take a break and just get ourselves rescheduled and get ourselves reset. There's a lot of different pieces that we've done in the past. We usually have somebody from the county or someplace like that also come in and speak. Sometimes we've had, I think, somebody from Penn State or some different places. So, you know, we'll look at, you know, like what we need to do to make it be a solid program. And if we can't do it well, I'd rather put it off and do it in this fall.
I'd agree with that, yes.
Is this a weekend thing or a
It's,
weekday?
it's usually a weekday.
Same
prep.
week.
Okay.
I want to say it, like, I think last year
Four,
we did it
turn my phone on.
in the morning
Mhm.
and I don't see it on my calendar right here, looking at it this way, and I'm looking at like multiple things on my calendar at one time, so I'm sure I'm missing it if it's right there, but we'll get the date and then we'll figure out, can we make it happen?
Sounds like great. And we'll put that on the agenda for February. All right, and it looks like next up, old business. It does not look like we have any old business.
No.
All right, so next item, items for next agenda, for sure, we will follow up about the decision on whether or not we can move forward with the sustainability conference in March. What else did we have to follow? We're also going to talk about EAC 2026 goals, and we'll have a chance to review before then and think about what we want to put our time and effort into. And then also the 2025 annual report.
Right.
Yeah. I think two of these were follow-ups that we're gonna have on your plate, and temporarily then all of us will work on preparing our thoughts on the goals.
And we, in the past, have sent the information to the chair
Mhm.
as to what we want to have included.
Sure, by all
On
means. Mhm.
Right.
Do I create the agenda or do I?
You'll
just-
work
Okay.
with our staff person to create the agenda, and I'll tell you how to do that.
Sounds
See,
good.
I think it's. Yeah, no.
Do we need to do anything next time with the e-report or e-newsletter?
Yeah, because you're always planning your e-newsletters for a month out.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll do that for March, but we'll have already submitted, I imagine, the content for February.
Yeah. So one of the things that I might suggest is like you think about it, and when you come to the February meeting, you might try to do a quarter's worth of.
I was just gonna say, maybe I'll do, I have a large calendar I use for master gardeners over the last couple of months. Might just put together a subset of topics that I put some content around, and maybe we can just look at it once and prioritize them, because then we can, instead of redoing it every month,
Mhm.
we can just reschedule it out maybe for like 6 months in a row. Because we know the seasons, we know the topics.
Right.
You know, we don't have to do it, we can still talk about it each meeting, but we can get it done pretty far in advance.
And you might consider asking a township resident to
Mhm.
write one of the articles. But if you
Yeah.
know enough in advance, you can do that. Where if you're, because you've got some folks in our community who really have some passion towards our environment. And so, you know, it would be appropriate to ask them to do that as well.
We can put that in the newsletter.
We
Maybe that
had
actually
a-
should be part of the February newsletter. It's a call to action for people who want to write for the newsletter.
Good idea. We had a high schooler, Joe Pinto's daughter. Joe was on the Environmental Advisory Council. His daughter wrote a wonderful article.
Mhm. All right, public comments. I believe we don't have any public comments, as we don't have any members of the public. So I'll move on to adjournment. Do we have to motion that, or is it a
Yeah.
statement?
You can either do it one of two
Okay.
ways. You can actually adjourn the meeting as the chair.
Mhm.
And you can just do that. Some chairs like to, can I get a motion and then take that action as well. Either
All
way.
right.
Where is her gown?
Is it-
Literally right here.